I got a tremendous amount out of Chief personally during a time that was really difficult, that I was rebuilding my life. And I was in a group of women in transition, which is a fantastic group of women that support each other during a challenging time in their life. And a woman in Chief reached out to me and just said, "Hey, I'd like to teach you how to meditate. I'd like to teach you how to really just take a moment out of your day and calm your mind, calm your nervous system." And I didn't know her at all. She just reached out. She thought it was something she could offer. And it turned out to be something that was really pivotal in my time period because it helped me turn inward, relax, take the nerves down, and just be able to listen and really meditate, which turned out to be pivotal in my story. On a professional front, I was able to really lean in and learn from leaders and experts across a lot of industries that I otherwise would not have the opportunity
Mm.
to learn about, which was also pivotal in my success. And so just the depth and the breadth of the knowledge across industries is amazing in this group. And if you take the initiative to tap into it, truly the sky's the limit for what you can build and do.
Yeah. Awesome. I think that, that sort of like exchange and the initiative too. Obviously, we as chief need to be bringing that to the forefront and find those connected dots for folks, and that's
Yeah.
that's our continued work all the time. But then
Yeah.
it involves some level of reciprocity too,
Yeah.
and engagement. And sort of, I hear that a lot. Like if you put in the energy, that it will come back. And that is one feeling I do have about this incredible community is that it just pulsates with that. Piece of opportunity at every corner, at every interaction that I have too. So, Chanel, tell us, give me a little bit of your thoughts on that. How has the chief community supported your growth and professionally and personally?
Well, I would say when I think about it, I think probably about three different things come to mind. One is vulnerability.
Mm.
I probably was a person, given my risk management background, that I was a little bit more cautious when first meeting folks. And I'm a personality that's kind of both introvert and extrovert. It kind of depends where I'm
Yeah.
at. But I would say vulnerability because in the core group, which I think for me was a big win. I got to know a lot of women from different backgrounds. My group was very diverse and women at all different stages of their careers. And as a part of that group, it's the day one, we had a guide that was just phenomenal. And she started off the conversation where she was really vulnerable. And it
Mm.
really gave us as a group the license to also be extremely vulnerable. And everyone was. It was shocking because, usually when you first meet people, you're not like just, telling things that are personal and professional, but
Yeah.
we did. And it really allowed us to actually bond really well. And I think, that was a big takeaway for me is that vulnerability is not a weakness. Vulnerability
Mm.
is in fact a superpower. So that's probably one of the things that stood out to me. And then I would say the other item is courage. I've always been a courageous person in terms of jumping from different things, but I
Yeah.
think one of my core team members had said to me, Chanel, it sounds like, you've taken it, relatively safe route, right, on some of the things, and
Mm.
just what if you just said yes? Like yes to your biggest dreams, right? And it was just like this sisterhood that we're in this group talking about, all kinds of things in life, and that helped me because professionally, I was going through a transition of going through a divorce and trying to figure out what I want to do next and work and all these things. And I decided to take a big leap. And ultimately took a year sabbatical. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later, but it just helped me to say yes to myself. And I think the other thing is being a part of the core group really also helped me learn to not only say what you want, but really ask for help. Meaning that you need to leverage the people, not only within the core group, but within Chief, within your local clubhouses. And I love Catalyst because you're going to be able to go to all of them. Um,
Yeah.
but being able to ask for that help and be open and be your genuine self, because I think when you show up as you, you can really get the help that you need. And like Lisa said, like there's so many vast amount of women that are a part of Chief that you're going to have a great time to get to know many folks.
Yeah. I love that. I think, just the notes on vulnerability and courage and ask for help. I do feel, and particularly today, I mean, the business environment is just so volatile, right? And so you have all these things kind of brewing on the business side, professional side, in addition to just what life hands us all in different various points, and then you've got those things to navigate. And I think women tend to hold more, whether it's childcare or parents or just the life and everything. And so that being able to raise your hand for help in a professional environment and have folks come in and sort of gently challenge and
Yeah.
get you to rethink about yourself and your journey in a different way. I found that very powerful for my own chief experience when I was a founding member in 2019. um, and it was always the women that did not come from my field of media. That was my background. That I was like, man, what? I just didn't, you're from risk management. I know actually both of you guys have experiences that were different than mine too. That it's almost, you get a very different conversation when you're not in the same wind tunnel of the people who kind of grew up in the same industries. Do you know what I mean?